What is going on, everyone? It is Foul Play here, and we are back again for another modern league here. So first of all, in the last week or so, Bogles has sort of jumped up the metagame a little bit. So as you can see here, it's sitting at 2.5% of the metagame in the last week. Along with a few other things popping up, Scape Shift making a resurgence, as has Azuro's control. I guess all the control players no longer with Uro, going back to what they know. Alright, so there's actually been some very nice results posted recently from a variety of different Bogles players. So like Modern Challenges placing 27th with Alolo Polo. We've had this really sweet deck with Siopius that we'll get into in a moment that went 5-0 in a modern league. A few other 5-0s. This one with Siopius, yeah, again with the green-white. Patsy, Namasquats, Paco Fioli. I'm butchering this. Big shout out for you all for doing the deck proud though. Doing really well. Haven't been playing that much in the last week because I've been quite sick. But yeah, this is the 5-0 deck that we're going to be running very, very similar list to today. He's actually running what is essentially green-white Bogles, but he's splashing blue for just 2 staggering insights. So land base is like a 19 card land base as well, not 20. I've seen a few of the lists that are actually running 19, so I'm going to try 19 today and see what that's like for me. But it's almost a normal list that just cut 1 Razorverge Thicket for a Hallowed Fountain, and they're only running the 2 basics here. And yeah, 5 fetches, only 3 temples. But yeah, really sweet list. He's running the full set of Griffspoon, which I can't really argue too much against. The full set of course Spirit Dancer, full set of Spider Umbra, 2 Spirit Links, 2 Spirit Mantles, 2 Staggering Insights, 2 Hyena Umbras. Yeah, so today we're going to be going into this. I'm going to be running something very similar. So what I've got here is pretty much an identical land base. I've swapped out the Misty Rainforest for a Wooded Foothills, but functionally it's exactly the same. We got the same 12 creatures there. Over for the auras, I've swapped things up a little bit. So first and foremostly, he was on 2 Hyena Umbra. I'm on 4. I really think Hyena Umbra is much more important. The first strike, I think, is more important than the reach here. I don't know why so many people really so centered around having 4 Spider Umbra. Now he had 2 Hyena Umbra. I'm running 3 Spider Umbra, so I'm running 7 Totem Armors to his 6. I mean, there's a fair bit of Tron around, there's a fair bit of Dredge around. Both those decks run Blast Zone. I hate Blast Zone as a card. It hurts us a lot. So I think there's a large argument to run 7 Totem Armor effects. So as opposed to his 4 Griffspoons, I'm running 3. Again, that third Spider Umbra was the 4th Griffspoon in their list. We got the Spirit Link as well, so we got lots of life gain in this deck between the Staggering Insights, the Daybreak Coronets, the 1 of Path to Exile as removal. Yeah, looks pretty sweet as a list. We're running a total of 28 auras because we're very low on interaction. We've got 1 Path to Exile as interaction. Sideboard wise, camera's a little bit in the way. All right, there we go. So we've got the 2nd Path to Exile in the sideboard, a 1 of Damping Sphere for Tron interaction, Storm interaction, 2 Gadok Tigs over here. Our good friend Luris is the companion. 2 Rest in Peace. Now, if it was just Jund I was concerned about, I probably wouldn't have any graveyard hate, but Dredge is making a bit of a comeback and you sort of need something to answer Dredge. On top of that, all spells is still kicking around, and Storm is about as well. So for those reasons, like Rest in Peace is actually quite a good card. Now we've got Suppression Field in here. I did sort of have Dramoka's Command for like Heliod combo and things like that. Suppression Field sort of hits a wider variety of decks though, and as much as I want to beat Heliod combo, we probably just want to have a better general matchup against a whole bunch of different decks as opposed to an absolute like win card against a very few number of the decks that are running around. Another difference to the sideboard here is he had 2 Force of Vigor. I've gone for 1 Seal, 1 Force of Vigor, mostly because I got a lock against a Hammer Time deck between Seal of Primordium and my Lurrus, and it felt really good. And I think it frustrated my opponent a lot. So, yeah, we're gonna hedge around that. This is the list we're running here today. A little bit different to what I'd normally go, like no Sentinel's Eyes, but pretty excited to try it anyway because it looks like a really sweet list. Okay, so here we are for match number 1, everyone. We're versing Lakali, and we lost the die roll, so that means we're going to be on the draw. We'll go ahead and select our companion and get on into it. Alright, so no creature hand here. This is an obvious mulligan. Opponent is keeping 7. Alright, we got a creature hand here with 1 land. Hopefully no Thoughtseize. We'll just bottom like a 2-mana spell. Bottom of the Staggering Insight here. Duplicates of that card. On a hand where we pretty much just get Temple Garden. Alright, so Bloodstained Mire into nothing. Go team. Alright, well, we're starting to draw a lot of 2-mana cards here. We've only got like 8 2-mana auras, plus the 4 creatures there makes like 12 2-mana cards. But yeah, we're getting quite full here. It's gonna be hard to empty our hand in an efficient manner. See what our opponent does with their fetch here. They get a Trio Min tapped. Okay, so is this like a Stoneblade deck or just a Jeskai control deck? Oh my god. Well, if we could ever hit a land, that would be incredible. Old 19 land deck coming back to bite me already. This Staggering Insight, that could have been a land. This Spirit Mantle could have been a land. Alright, so opponent with a remand. Why am I getting like Kiki-Jiki feelings here? But those decks wouldn't be running 3 colors. Just be like, is it not Jeskai? Opponent knows the jig's up. We're a little bit behind on tempo. They've missed a land drop as well. Oh, far out, man. Alright, not the most exciting way to start the league. Opponent with another remand. That's what we get for keeping a 1-lander on the draw, you know. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Is it Charm? Alright, opponent's looting. They're desperately looking for their land drop. At this point, I'd take an aura that loots. Fire Prophecy. Now, what does this do? It's an instant 3 damage to target creature. You may put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library if you do draw a card. Wow. Wow. Well, opponent could have Force of Negation, but I'm going to try and resolve this Ethereal Armor while we can. Looks like it's getting forced, though. Ditching Polymorph? Oh, God. We're versing an Emrakul deck. If they've got Polymorph, they've got Emrakul. They currently don't have a creature, though. What are they using, like Timely Reinforcements here? Teferi. Okay. Alright. Yeah, get ready for all this pressure, guys. Get ready for all the pressure in the world. We can't Staggering Insight. We don't have colors. Oh my god. We just have to like Spirit Mantle and attack. This is awful. It's slightly better to like have double aura up next turn than just play Griffspin. If we play Core Spirit Dancer, it just gets bounced. We don't get any extra damage. Oh god. Cool. I am looking at the cards. Cool. Alright, well that scoops a concession there. I guess we could technically draw Path to Exile. I think it has protection from instants though. You can't see because there's damn boxes in the way. What was on top? Yeah. Alright, well, we might have been able to have erased them if we'd actually have drawn our spells, our lands, and if we'd have actually have curved out then. But wasn't to be. I think, given the fact their land base sort of generates their tokens, they weren't fetching like basic islands or anything. I think the likelihood of Blood Moon is probably quite low. Something like Grafdigger's Cage would be great here. Would be able to stop it from entering. Alright, so our opponent's Emrakul has protection from coloured spells, so like Path's pretty useless here. There's potential for us to get Suppression Field to play around their fetch lands, their Gadok and their Teferi, Time Raveler. Might be a little bit of overboarding though. So there's potential for us to kill our opponent's creature in response to the polymorph. Is something we could do. I think maybe Suppression Field's just not quite good enough. And Core Spirit Dancer's like sort of nice, but it's also sort of kind of slow as well. I think probably we want to remove one Core Spirit Dancer like we have, but we're going to remove these Spirit Mantles for 2 paths, because if we path our opponent's creature in response to the polymorph, we're going to have a good time. Of course, they can Teferi bounce, like Teferi to stop us from like doing stuff, but we can attack and kill the Teferi, and we can play around that sort of stuff, so. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand. It's going to be curious to see if they have like Lightning Bolts or something. Opponent's mulligan to 6. I kind of think we're going to need to lean on Core Spirit Dancer a little bit here, because we haven't got the quickest hand, we haven't got Rancors, we haven't got Ethereal Armors, we've only got 2 Auras. So we might have to battle over our Core Spirit Dancer a little bit, I think. Or at least if we don't go in on Core Spirit Dancer, can use it to draw some extra action, right? Of course, on a land-heavy hand, all we find is more mana. Alright, let's get in for 1. And I guess they can have Lightning Helix, Lightning Bolt, or Path to Exile here. All of which will kill Core Spirit Dancer. Opponent needs to make a decision whether or not they want to do it during their own turn or during mine, though. Alright, let's crack this one. So we'll get our Hallowed Fountain in untapped. I think we'll cast the Spider Umbra on the Bogle, see if there's a response. Go for Hyena Umbra on the Core Spirit Dancer now and see what that elicits. I feel like risking 1 aura on the Spirit Dancer is probably fine. Remand. That's not very scary. We find a Gadok Tig. That's a nice find. That shuts down their combo. Alright, so we attack for 5. We're like maybe slightly softer to Teferi here, but we can still pile on a decent amount of pressure. Alright, no Teferi from our opponent. Let's put Hyena Umbra on Bogle. Find another Daybreak Coronet. We can try to 2-turn this. If we try and Gadok we might lose our guy. I think at this point our best move is look for Path to Exile. Spell Snare. Find Ethereal Armor. Well, that's just gonna get jammed on my core Spirit Dancer, I think. Alright, we may or may not have lethal here. We have lethal. We'll see if they have the path. They could snap Custom Age Jump Block as well. Alright, well, we only just raced our opponents there. That was a bit of a close one. Okay, anything we want to change after seeing these, like, remands? The key wording also on Polymorph is, like, put the creature you find into play. I guess they can't have Snap Custom Age, right? Or else Polymorph wouldn't work. But yeah, it's put the card into play, so they're not casting it, i.e. Damping Sphere does nothing. Yeah, let's run this one back. Alright, so we have this hand with land creatures and 2 auras and 1 piece of interaction, which is the Gadok, so sure, let's go ahead, let's keep this, get into it. Gadok is also a nice card that gets around Force Negation as well for when my opponent's tapped out. Our opponent is mulliganing to 6. We're keeping a nice strong 7. We've even got the Ethereal Armor as well, which is great. They've now mulled to 5. Alright, they're keeping a 5. Steam Vent's in tapped. Go on. Find me another Ethereal Armor off the top deck. Eh? Not the worst. So, like, my opponent's typical turn 2 has just been remand. He's playing Steam Vents in tapped. So, is the best our opponent's got a Spell Snare at the moment? Maybe a Spell Pierce. Okay. Well, we'll just get down both our auras then. No Force of Negation either. I guess they have Mulled to 5, so maybe they've kept a suboptimal hand, right? Alright, so we've hit them down. Any Teferi. Pretty much, yeah, we're just attacking and playing Gadok next turn. Play around our opponent's combo. If our opponent plays a Teferi in there at some point, we're going to obviously kill the Teferi. Alright, we do the nice, wonderful thing of drawing a Slippery Bogle. Go team. I'll shock in this Temple Garden because why not represent Path to Exile, right? Alright, go on. Get out there, Gadok. Get on out there. There's the remand. Alright, so they had it after all. Maybe they drop. Maybe. Yes, we'll see if they creature into Polymorph. The difference, like, if we're on the play here, obviously, is we get an extra turn to cast a Gadok out. Maybe an extra mana as well, so we could potentially cast 2 in a turn. Do they have the Polymorph? Like, we've represented the path here. Wow. Cool. Well, we had the sideboard hate, they had the remand. We sort of forced them to have it. I think we made a good call on, like, boarding in the Path to Exiles, but it's the difference that losing game 1 made was it meant, like, on game 3 there, We didn't have it. Like, because game one, they didn't apply any pressure, right? They missed land drops, we missed land drops. The whole game was sort of like a slow, dull affair. Definitely like a match we can win, though, even though we didn't quite get there today. Thank you all for watching, though. Hope you all had an awesome time. As always, let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think of the list, the light splash, all that sort of stuff. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you next time. Cheers.